Hey, sis. So, I wanted to take a few minutes to talk to you about domestic violence since this is Domestic Violence Awareness Month, and some of you may have watched some of my videos where I share some of my story about my experience with domestic violence. So, as I was looking over some information about domestic violence for a presentation that I have to do on Sunday at my church for Domestic Violence Awareness Day, I just thought about sharing this information because it's so important for us to make sure that we understand what's going on. So, domestic violence, again, this is October, and this is where a lot of organizations, a lot of people talk about domestic violence and share statistics and things of that nature. So, which domestic violence, it happens every single day, and so it's really important for us to not just focus on the month of October as being domestic violence awareness. We need to make sure that that's something that we are aware of and we are proactively discussing every single day. But that's not what we're talking about. I really want to just kind of talk about some statistics with you and just share some more of my story. So, 1 in 4 women will experience domestic violence in their lifetime. And 1 in 5 female high school students, they report being abused by their boyfriends. Now, 85% of domestic violence victims are women. Now, men, they can be abused. They can experience domestic violence, but there are more women that actually experience it than men. But as I said a few minutes ago, 1 in 5 female high school students. Now, I was 15 years old whenever I started experiencing domestic violence. And I was in the ninth grade, and I had fell in love with the most popular guy in the school. Now, I was looking for love in all the wrong places. I didn't know who I was. I didn't have a clue about what I needed. Low self-esteem, self-worth was zero. And so I ended up getting into my first abusive relationship at the age of 15. So there's a lot of high school students out there that's experiencing domestic violence, and it's so important for us to make sure that we are being proactive, listening, making sure that we are sharing information with these ladies, people in general, so that hopefully we can help them be able to get out of the relationship or prevent them from even getting in the relationship. Now, South Carolina, if you live in South Carolina, even if you don't, this is just good information for you to know, ranks number 2 as having the highest domestic violence cases of women being killed by men. Number 2, little South Carolina. I feel like South Carolina is so small compared to other states. I live in South Carolina, and that just blows my mind. And the thing about South Carolina, and again, you may not live in South Carolina, but because I live here, I'm just blown away. But South Carolina, we have ranked in the top 10 for at least 20 plus years, or good 20 years. And so again, that just blows my mind. So there's different types of domestic violence. As you all may know, physical abuse is the one that, almost everyone is aware of, but there's also verbal abuse, emotional, psychological abuse, financial or economic abuse. And some of those people are not even aware of. Emotional or psychological abuse, that is the type of abuse that can last for years. Now, the physical abuse is bad, it's awful, but it tends to, the bruises, they go away. If there's bruises, they go away within, a couple days, couple weeks. But that emotional and psychological abuse, it can last for years, and it can cause depression, it can cause anxiety, it can cause health problems, it can cause a lot of type of issues that can cause a person to not be able to function in their lives, in different areas of their lives. Now, I experienced physical and emotional abuse, verbal abuse, and some economic abuse as well. And it took me 21 years, before I had the courage to walk away. And thankfully, God sent me my husband, but it was not easy for me. And I would encourage someone, if you're trying to get out of an abusive relationship, I would encourage you to call the national hotline, tell someone, a friend, let someone know what's going on. I know your safety is more important than anything. Safety plans are out there where if you talk with someone at the hotline, then they can help you with a safety plan. But please, please try to tell someone, tell a friend, tell a church member, tell a neighbor, let someone know so that you can get help if you want to get out. So again, I wanted to share that information with you. Domestic violence, it is a terrible, terrible thing that can cause a lifetime of problems, and it is help out there if you want help. So if you want to know more about my story, then I do have a book that I've written called Love Thyself, and in that book, it is a memoir about my experience with domestic violence. I go into details about the different types of abuse that I've experienced, along with some other things about my childhood. And yes, so I would love for you to have that. If you're interested in getting a copy of my book, just DM me and I will be happy to send you the link. Remember, you are valuable, you are worthy, and you deserve the very best that life has to offer. So get help. That help is out there.